Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Rise and Ready podcast. I hope you all had an amazing Thanksgiving and got to spend time with your family and eat lots of yummy food. I personally stayed home for Thanksgiving this year, which was really weird, but also there was a lot of peace and comfort in it. I never thought I would do this ever in my life, or at least not yet, but I'm actually very proud of myself because it's something that I never thought I could do, but I did, and I love proving to myself that I can do hard things. But it was really nice because this weekend I did get to go back into town and hang out with some family, and I had so much fun. I really did enjoy myself, and my heart definitely feels so full. I really do cherish spending time with my loved ones, and I'm definitely extremely family oriented, so yeah, I had the perfect weekend. Lots of laughter, games, fun, and it was a nice reset. Moving onward, 3 things I'm grateful for is the family God blessed me with and the time I get to spend with them. That I get to wake up and live another day and know that God still has a plan for me. And I don't really say this one a lot, but I am thankful for my cat, Miss Riri. Even though she's bad, I still love her a lot. Alright, moving on to goals. So last week my goal was to be more present and worry less. I feel like I did a really good job at this. Whenever I felt my mind start thinking about the past and future, I was able to ground myself and know that this is not something I need to consume my mind with, as I cannot control it. It also just makes me overall happier because constantly thinking about what is next just stresses me out and takes away from the moment I'm currently living in. And I think time is so precious and also goes by way too fast. That brings me to the goal for this week. I want to really focus on balance this week, not always trying to just be go, go, go all the time. I want to be productive and get things done, but also not feel guilty if at the end of the day I do want to watch my favorite show, or if I need more sleep, allowing myself to do so. I don't want to continue to tie my worth to being productive 24/7 or feel like I'm failing if I slow down. So overall, trying to find balance between getting stuff done and allowing myself to just relax and breathe. And honestly, that ties perfectly into today's topic, which is why we need to stop worrying, because so much of our stress comes from the pressure to always be more, do more, never pause, and then there are worries about the past and the future. So let's get into why worrying doesn't help, it strips you of your peace, and how it actually does way more harm than you think. I'm sure we all know what worrying is, but I want to dive into it a little bit more. So worrying is your brain trying to feel in control, which in my opinion is so pointless, because why sit here and try to control things that we simply cannot control? Worry is not protection, it is prediction, which, newsflash, is usually wrong. When you're worrying, it all comes from the what ifs. So what if I just showed up? What if I never said that? What if I never sent that paragraph? Those are probably not the best examples, but I think you guys get the point. It's pretty much just constantly having those negative thoughts about worst case scenarios, or if you have done this differently, maybe you would have had a different outcome, and this consumes your minds about things from the past and the future, and overall just things that you cannot control or change. What's done is done, and we just have to accept that and move on, not for anybody else, but for yourself, and also for the sake of your own sanity. Constantly being in a what if mindset stresses you out so much, and stress is no bueno. It strips you from not only being present in the moment, but also from your happiness, which is a bummer because you deserve to be happy and to enjoy your one and only life. There is no point in playing the what if game, because you can play it all day, every day, and it still isn't going to change anything or do anything good for you. It literally only keeps you stuck and miserable. I do want to say that it is okay to worry every here and there, and it can be helpful. For example, worrying you are going to fail your test helps you study for said test. Worrying you're going to be late for work causes you to leave early so you're on time. Worrying can be good if it's in controlled amounts and it isn't consuming you or taking over your everyday life in a negative way. The key is keeping it balanced. When it is unbalanced is when stuff starts to hit the fan. When you're constantly in a worry state, it steals your presence. You miss so many amazing moments because you're so mentally stuck into the future or stuck in the past. You begin to miss the little precious moments in life, and instead of focusing on everything that's going right, you're only focusing on all that is going wrong. You woke up today and got to live another day. That's one thing that I think is an amazing thing that is going right, that you still have a life and a plan to fulfill. When your mind is constantly trying to predict the future and what's next, you begin to lose the small moments like conversations, stories, laughter, spending time with loved ones, and so on. When you do this, you are no longer living the life that you are actually experiencing. You're living a life that you are only imagining. And that false reality begins to become extremely scary and stressful rather than happy and peaceful. Don't let your worries rob you of your happiness and today's peace. So, about a year ago, when I was in college, I was constantly stressing and worrying about what was next as well as my past. I was trying to figure out who I was without volleyball and what my purpose was. I was worried about getting A's in all my classes, proving to everyone and myself that I was good enough. Kind of silly, I know. I was worried about failing. I felt like a failure because my body was failing me and I was no longer able to do the things that I loved, and I didn't want to fail at another thing when I felt like that was all I had to prove myself. I couldn't get a job, no matter how many places I applied to, so I was constantly worried about how I was going to pay off my student loans, my car payment, and if I had enough money to feed myself every month. And thankfully, both my grandmas and my mom helped me with groceries, which I am truly so blessed and grateful for. So if you guys are listening, I just want to thank you guys so much for taking care of me, taking the weight off my shoulders, and for looking out for me. It truly meant the world to me, and I appreciate you guys so much. Okay, back to the story. I was stressed and I was hurting about my parents separating, and if I could have done anything different to prevent it. I was constantly thinking about volleyball and what if I tried one more time or got one more surgery, could I still play? And then I started to put the blame on myself for everything that had happened and told myself it is all my responsibility to carry this, to fix it, and I deserve to feel all the things I do. Again, I know, silly. And I'm not trying to say all this to throw a little pity party, but my whole point in telling this story is that I was constantly putting my body and mind in flight or fight mode because I was so worried about the past and future and the what ifs. Let me tell you. It all caught up to me, and I was miserable, I cried every day, and I was beginning to lose myself. I feel like I wasted so much precious time worrying about things I couldn't change and control that I lost sight of all the things that were going good and mattered. Here I am today, finally understanding that everything happens for a reason, and I truly do enjoy and love life now that I stay present and don't worry about my past or future. Guys, you can truly handle anything you put your mind to, and you are way stronger than you think. God wants us to enjoy our lives, no worrying about yesterday or tomorrow, just you in this current moment. We are meant to enjoy our lives, eat, drink, and that is a gift from God. Stay grounded in the moment and express gratitude for the big and little things in your life. Some things that helped me when I was worrying was taking a second to just sit there in silence and breathe. Another thing that helped me was the 5 senses grounding technique, which is when you identify 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. I would also talk to God, pray to God, and just give him my worries. Taking cold showers helped me a lot. It helped calm my nervous system. Grounding in grass and getting some sun. Positive affirmations. Moving my body in ways I loved. And the last thing I would do, and this may sound a little bit silly, but I would jump up and down and shake my body out. Maybe a little dance, a little shimmy. So I do encourage you guys to try some of these methods and see if it can bring you even a little bit of some peace and rest. As we wrap this up, I just want you to know you don't have to carry everything in your mind all at once. We are all humans and none of us are perfect, and we were never intended to be perfect. The future will meet you when it's supposed to. Always remember you are 100% capable, you are safe, and life is not out to get you. Worry does not change your future, it steals the joy of today. Give yourself permission to just slow down, breathe, and be present. Thank you very much for spending this time with me. I hope this episode was able to bring you even a little bit of some calm, and I hope you all have an amazing and a blessed rest of your week and day. Make sure you take care of yourself and the big 3s, being your mind, body, and spirit, and I will see you guys next Monday. Bye-bye!